Now, since we're in this vein, I want to talk about supporting candidates, and I never talk about really trying to read into somebody's mind. I really don't try to read into that. I try to basically use, an objective look at what they're really talking about, what they're getting at. But Hillary Clinton made some comments, and right now we're in the middle of an intense media campaign. And what she did was she showed us what she really thought. And they're trying to spin it off as though she says something prescient, and what she's saying is true, and it's just like maybe she didn't say it right. No, 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 no. She said exactly what she felt, or exactly what she was trying to say to that audience. And the way she said it, and the context in which she said it, gives us a clue about probably what she feels. And she basically said there's a strain on one hand, the kind of populist, nationalist, xenophobic, discriminatory kind of approach that we hear from a Republican candidate. And on the other side, there's a deep desire to believe that we can have free college, free healthcare, and that what we've done hasn't gone far enough, and that we just need to, go as far as, Scandinavia, whatever that means. And half of the people don't know what that means, but it's something that they deeply feel. Let's talk about that paragraph. Number one, she equates the fringe of the left with the fringe of the right. And, sometimes that is fair. We are both responding to the deeper economic anxiety that is basically dividing the country, but, from the ideological center. That's fair. But when she says things like free healthcare and free college, first off, those things aren't free. They're communally paid for by society, right? It's not free. It's communally paid for and provided by. So everybody pays into the system, and then everybody uses it. So this idea that it's free and that you're just getting something for nothing, that's an idea that only privileged people that have no respect for the public commons, basically public good, would say. So she's framed that in a very, very peculiar way. And I want to focus on that. Then she says, like Scandinavia, whatever that means. We know what it means, and that's why we're asking for it. The question is, you don't understand what it means, or you do understand what it means, and you're just not going to give it to us no matter what. But I thought that was strange that she would try to frame it like we don't know what we're talking about. We're wanting something that we don't even understand. It's a very condescending attitude. And I think the closest thing I can say to that is sometimes when I talk about, how somebody perceives something and I don't feel like it's valid, I'll use words like they feel it's this way. I'll use the word as they feel. And when you say they feel, meaning it's their interpretation is not necessarily correct. And that's what she's doing here. It's something that they deeply feel. So it's not necessarily correct, but it's something that they feel. It's their interpretation. So, basically what she's saying is she doesn't even agree at the core with what people are asking for. So if you're for single payer healthcare and for tuition free colleges provided by the government through everybody's tax dollars, you probably shouldn't be voting for Hillary Clinton based off of this statement here. And then she'll say, like, some are new to politics completely. They're children of the Great Recession, a Great Recession partly caused by some of Clinton's policies, of course, left that out. And they're living in their parents' basement. Now, the living in your parents' basement, I don't know if anybody's had a joke where they'll say, like, somebody's still living with their parents at such and such age or something like that. It's really meant to degrade. It's meant to say, like, you can't make it on your own. Like, you're, basically a loser in our economy, a loser in a part of our society. So I think that when she said that, she's basically calling everybody who's grumbling and all that losers in our economy, and that she's trying to kind of like marginalize us, separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. And that's wrong. They're living in their parents' basement as some kind of snide remark, almost like a scoff. And here's another one. They feel they got their education and jobs that are available to them are not all what they envision for themselves. You know what? That's actually a fair statement. Because everything about economics revolves around expectations. We expect to live a decent life. we expect to, get a college education, and basically the job we find based on that education should be able to afford us a decent life. But somehow expecting that is wrong. You know, that was an unrealistic expectation. Excuse me. I didn't know living a decent life and it was an unrealistic expectation in the wealthiest country in the world. Did not know that. You know what? I'm informed today. And then she says something else. If you're feeling like you're consigned to, being a barista or, some job that doesn't pay a lot, keep in mind Hillary Clinton hasn't had a job that doesn't pay a lot and doesn't have a ladder of opportunity attached to it, then the idea that maybe, just maybe, you could be part of a revolution is pretty appealing. And that's correct. When you have nothing to lose, you want to change the system such that, your outcomes will be better. And then the people that have everything and that are perfectly fine, they don't want to change anything. They want to keep it exactly where it is because that's where they're comfortable. That's where basically their bread is buttered, so to speak. So she's speaking and she's basically telling us, what her privileged view is. Now you can always argue it's a script and we can say we'll truly never know the real Hillary Clinton, but I'm willing to bet based off of, what her class is. She is a multimillionaire, her and her husband. She's never really been poor, that this is closer to what she really is. This is who she really is. We are just people that are grumbling and not supporting her, millennials that don't like her. They're just grumblers and have unrealistic expectations of what our economy should produce from them. And, that's really telling about her as a candidate. And I really can't say much more than that. Like, we just basically got a glimpse of who she really is. And we should definitely understand that and not vote for that. Basically, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I just kind of did. I didn't mean to, but yeah. Ouch.